Hello everyone, and welcome once again to Caleb Likes Books. Today I'm going to be doing another book haul for you for the month of July 2023. This month I got 7 books, 3 of which are part of one series. One is the start of a trilogy, and the rest are standalone books. So first I'm going to talk about the series of books that I got 3 books from, and that is the Witcher series. I got the final 2 books of the main series along with the standalone that I believe was released after the main series. So The Witcher is a series that I have read the first several books from. I've read the 2 short story collections, The Last Wish and Sword of Destiny, which I really enjoyed both of those. And then I've read the first 3 books of the main series, which I was kind of mixed to positive, I would say. I liked them, but I wasn't loving them. I do really enjoy the characters in this series, but other than that, nothing about it really sticks out to me. But it is a series that, even though I don't love it, I wanted to finish it, but I haven't been able to find the remaining books in the edition that I have because last year Orbit released new editions of these books. And all I could find of these books was the new editions, but I wanted to have them matching my old ones. But I did manage to find used copies of the last 2 books of the series plus the standalone. So I now have the full Witcher series, so I'll probably, I may be finishing that up later this year. I don't remember that much of the rest of the books, to be honest, so I probably will have to read a little bit up on those online, get my mind refreshed a little bit. But I'm looking forward to finishing up that series. And then I also got a Star Wars book. I got the Lost Tribe of the Sith short story collection by John Jackson Miller, I believe. This is a collection of, I think, 9 short stories that take place during the Old Republic era. This is the last book of the Old Republic era that I needed in order to complete my collection of Old Republic books. So I'm very happy to have now filled out one era. Although I still don't own physical copies of some of the books, I have digital copies of like Deceived and Fatal Alliance, for example, and I don't own Annihilation at all, but I have read it before, so this is the last one that I needed before I could own and or have read the other books. So I'm very excited to have this one. I'm curious to see how it will turn out. John Jackson Miller, I really enjoyed his book Kenobi. Didn't really care for Knight Errant that much, so I'm curious to see what I'll think of these short stories. And they are focused on the Sith, which I tend to enjoy Sith stuff, so I'm looking forward to those. The next book that I got is the start of a trilogy, and that is the first book in the John Cleaver series by Dan Wells, which is I Am Not a Serial Killer. If you've seen some of my recent videos, I did a video about trilogies that I wanted to read, and this trilogy was actually on that list. And I did manage to find the first book in this trilogy. I didn't find the second and third books, unfortunately, but I did find the first one. And this is a series that I've been wanting to read for a long time. I love the podcast that Dan does with Brandon Sanderson called the Intentionally Blank Podcast. I think he is a lot of fun on that podcast, so I've been wanting to read one of his books for a while. And this, along with Extreme Makeover, were the 2 that I was looking at. And I figured whichever one I found first I would get. And I found this one first, so that I got it. It sounds very cool. It'll be interesting to finally read Dan's writing now that I've been listening to the podcast for so long, and he's going to be writing for the Cosmere soon. So I figured I should not only get into his books because I've heard they're good and because he does the podcast, but also to kind of get familiar with his work before he writes in the Cosmere. And the final books that I got, the last 2, are from the Arkham Horror series. Now, Arkham Horror is a gaming company, I believe, that does board games and things like that. They've done I think they might have done the Call of Cthulhu RPG. I can't remember if they're the ones that did that or if it was someone else, but they have done some role-playing games and board games based on Lovecraft and things like that, and they have also done a book series for Arkham Horror. So I got 2 standalone books from Arkham Horror, those being The Mask of Silver and The Last Ritual. I forget the names of the authors off the top of my head, so I apologize, but these are 2 standalone books. These are 2 Cthulhu Mythos Lovecraftian books, which I've been wanting to read more of. And I've been wanting to read more Arkham Horror specifically because they have a lot of books based on Lovecraft's works. And now that I've basically finished up reading Lovecraft, I want to read some stuff that other authors have done, taking inspiration from his work. I don't really know much about either of these books. I basically just saw they were available, and because I've been wanting to read some Arkham horror books for a while, I just bought them without thinking, because I was like, oh, these are two standalones from this line of books. I'm gonna get those. So I don't really know much about these, but I'm excited to read them. I'm excited to read some more Lovecraftian books. I'll probably be reading these in October as a part of my horror month type of thing that I'm doing. So I'm really looking forward to reading these. I'll also probably be reading I'm Not a Serial Killer in October as well, because that is also kind of a horror book from what I've heard. So that is pretty much it for this video. So let me know down in the comments if you have read any of these books, or if you're interested in reading any of these books. And if you've read them before, let me know what you thought of them. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. I'm really excited about all of these. I probably will try to read at least most of these before the end of the year. I'll definitely be reading I'm Not a Serial Killer and the 2 Arkham horror books before the end of the year. I will probably try to read Lost Tribe of the Sith as well, and I would like to finish up The Witcher before the end of the year, at least the main series. I don't know if I'll get to the standalone by the end of the year, but I want to read all of these books soon. So this will be one where I'll probably read all of these books fairly soon. So I'm really looking forward to all of these. So let me know down in the comments if you've read any of them, and that is pretty much it for this video. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.